She does say that she misses her dad, but she does understand that her dad did something wrong.
The matter before the court this morning is in case number CD. Plaintiff versus defendant. This is the time and the place that the court had fixed in this matter with respect to a hearing in this case. The court will recount just the status of the case in a moment. Let the record reflect that Ms. is present in court together with and that likewise Mr. is present in court this morning. Both parties are representing themselves as self-represented litigants. With respect to the status of the case, this court entered an order for production of child before the court on February 8th of 2024. And that was as a result of a hearing that took place prior to that time at the request of Ms. And her request was filed in this case on January 25th of 2024, alleging that had been taken from White Pine County by her father, Mr. As a result of that hearing, the court entered an order setting a hearing on the ex parte emergency motion. That order was entered by the court on February 1st of 2024, and that order was served by mail to the addresses that the court had on file for both Mr. and Ms. And with respect to the hearing, Mr. did not appear. Ms. did appear. That hearing was held on February 7th of 2024, and the court entered an order that time for the production of the child before the court. The court is unaware of the exact date that was picked up by her mother, but her mother, Ms. did bring to the court's chambers after she obtained the custody of, and with respect to her coming to the court's chambers, although the court did not talk to Ms. She did have conversations with the court's bailiff. I believe it was Mr. Ringerberg,
Yes,
who had advised the court that Ms. and were at the court's chambers pursuant to the court's order that she be brought to the court within 72 hours. At that time, the court advised Mr. Ringerberg to tell Ms. that the court would set a hearing in this case under the statute to discuss the disposition of pending further orders in this court. And this court then entered an order setting a hearing for the disposition of the minor child. And that order was entered on February 29th of 2024. That order was served upon both Ms. and Mr. by mail. And now both parties are here. Okay. So the purpose of this hearing today is to determine the disposition of, at least on a temporary basis, with respect to this particular case. The court has been made aware that criminal charges were filed against Mr. They are not in the district court at this time, either in this department, Department 2, or in Judge Dobrescu's department, Department 1. So the court does not know the status of the disposition of any matters that might be pending in the Ely Justice Court. But so at this time, though, I don't want you to talk about your case, Mr. as far as what's going on in Justice Court, but is there still a court proceeding pending against you in Justice Court?
Yeah.
Okay, very well. So with respect to this case, then the court will certainly consider input from both and from Mr. Concerning the placement of during the interim. And I will certainly hear from both of you concerning your positions in this matter concerning placement pending further disposition of this case and potentially what may or may not happen in criminal proceeding. The one thing that I want to tell you, Mr. I'm not your attorney. I can't give you legal advice, but just in general, as I would everyone in court that has pending criminal proceedings, and they also have a civil matter that's sort of joined to it. is I advise you not to talk about the facts surrounding the taking of and or what's happened. The reason that I say that is you have a criminal action pending against you, and anything that you may say in this courtroom can be used against you by the state in your criminal case. You just need to be made aware of that, okay? So you know, this is not a privileged hearing. It's not protected like if you were talking to your attorney, all right? But this is a public hearing. A record is being made of this, and the state can use whatever you say surrounding the facts and circumstances of your charges against you. If you want to talk about it, you can, but I just want to let you know that that possibility exists. You need to keep that in mind in providing any input today. Do you understand, sir? I do. All right, very well. Then, Ms. Let me just ask you to start off. Hi. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? All right, are you okay? You look okay to me.
Oh,
Okay, that's your response. There you go. Ms. How have things been going since you picked up?
things have been going really well, other than the fact that she had some. And apparently I caught the same thing. The doctor, Dr. Wu, said that she's coming out of it really well. He got us on. It's not strep throat, it's not COVID. Must have been something that she picked up in the situation that she was in. I have, so it's easy for me to pick those kinds of things up, so. But she's got her own bedroom, she's got toys, she's got her nephew is a year old, and she spends time with him. She's got her older brother and her sister-in-law. She's been warm, she's learning that she doesn't have to store food because there's going to be food later. She is not thirsty anymore, and packing around multiple drinks. One is okay now for her. She feels comfortable with that. She helps us feed the chickens. She goes and collects the eggs, and she walks around the chicken yard, and she has fun with them, and absolutely just thinks it's the coolest thing. We got her back in school on Monday, but when we.
Is she in Head Start?
Yes. But with the doctor and everything, with the medicine, until the medicine is done, the doctor said it'd probably be best that we don't have her in school just until the is gone. And once that's gone, then she said she'll be just fine for school. There's nothing seriously wrong with her. Her attitude is not like she's not hoarding things. About the first couple days, she was really in a hoarding state with food and with drinks, and very worried about being cold, where now she's running around with just her, pajamas on, and she's like, I don't want socks, and I'm too warm. And so I think that's why but she's adjusted really well. She does say that she misses her dad, but she does understand that her dad did something wrong. But she's adjusted very, very well. She had a great first day at school, back at school. I was concerned about that, but Alicia said that she did absolutely phenomenal. So once the medicine's gone, then she'll be going back into her regular work or school schedule. But she helps around the house. She's absolutely just a ball of energy now. She's back to what I used to remember her being before Mr. left the original time to go live with my mother. She's very, like, she wants to play, she wants to color, she's not really big on TV, which is great. She wants to go out and do stuff. We've been on four-wheeler rides. She loves the bunnies. She's got a great routine. She wakes up early in the morning and she helps out with with the animals, chores and stuff. She loves to collect the eggs. My big thing though is the first couple of days of experience of what I saw was absolutely heartbreaking. She did not understand that there's food consistently. She wanted an empty container and she wanted to fill it and store it away where only she would know where it was. You, sweetheart. Because she doesn't know where her next meal was gonna come from, or if it was gonna be a next meal. There were signs of dehydration. I explained to the doctor that she was telling me that they were concerned that there was some kind of, act done to her, and I said, absolutely not, I'm not worried about that. But they did say that that was signs of dehydration and, fever. But, she hasn't complained about any of those situations. After the last week when we've got her, she takes vitamins now every day. She's on her vitamin regimen. Her communication level is great. She tells you if she's not feeling it or if she's just not happy, but she has not said anything derogatory. She does miss her dad, but she does understand that it's not safe to be with him. And that's out of her own words. I do not talk to her about the situation. I try not to bring any of it up because she is only 3 and we just need to let her get going on a regular life schedule now. My boyfriend, Brian Harwood, actually cleaned out his animal trophy room and we made that her room. She's got her own bed. She's got her own space. When she's done with everybody and just wants to go hang out, she goes in there. Me and my boyfriend, he lays at the foot of the bed and I'll lay next to her and we'll watch a movie while she goes to sleep, and then we go into our own room and she does not wake up through the night. The first couple days she did, and she was looking for mom. But now she's like, nope, you can go now. I'm tired. I'm ready for bed. And she does her own thing. She's adjusted a lot better than I thought she would with the situation going on. But the very first week was the hardest. She was always cold. She was hungry. She was thirsty. And it was pretty traumatic. At least it was for me. But she's come out of it well.
Thank you, Ms. Mr. Is there anything that you'd like to tell the court this morning?
No, I was gonna let that go.
All right, very well. Well, what the court's going to do is the court's going to keep in effect the temporary custody order of with Ms. Pending any further matters, not only in this court, and I'll talk to you about that in a moment, because of the disposition of the matters that are affecting Mr. in the criminal proceedings in the Justice Court. One of the aspects of the Justice Court proceeding that this court is just not aware of as of the time of this hearing this morning is whether or not the Justice Court has entered a no contact order with respect to any of the witnesses or the alleged victim. Do you know, is there a no contact order that was issued in the Justice Court as a condition of your release, Mr. Pardon me?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, well, I will get a copy of the Justice Court proceedings to see if that is in effect, because this court is not going to be able to enter any further orders with respect to contacting the alleged victims that would be in conflict with what the criminal court proceedings have by way of a no contact order. So I will take a look at that as well.
And the courts can contact me and let me know if there is ability to communicate.
Okay.
That's fine. We
Well,
can figure something out.
This court will do as well, okay? And I know that you had limited rights of visitation beforehand. And if it's appropriate, and I'm not saying that it is at this point, because again, I don't know the complete status, and may not as well, as to what's going to occur in the justice court proceeding. But you know, at such time as it is appropriate, and I'm not going to give you a date today, it would be reasonable in the future to obviously have contact with her dad and to set that up on an appropriate basis at an appropriate time. So that's that the court wants to obviously leave that possibility open with respect to this proceeding. But this court's not going to interfere with whatever's going on in the criminal
Right.
case as a result of this matter. So the court is going to continue the temporary custody of with you. The court's not going to set up any type of supervised visitation schedule at this time
Okay,
between and her dad. The court does not foreclose that possibility, as I said,
right,
but
right.
I don't want to learn more about what's happening in the justice court proceeding. And I don't want to interfere with any orders that the justice of the peace may have entered concerning contact with witnesses and or alleged victim in this case.
Okay,
So the court will go ahead and enter a written order in this matter. And what the court intends to do as well, I will look at the court's calendar. I'm going to set a status here, and I'm not going to just leave this open for you, either of you. I will look at the court's calendar. I will set a status hearing within 30 to 45 days. We'll see where we are at that point in time. And if I think that a status hearing should be set sooner with respect to matters that have potentially taken place in the justice court, I will do so, so that you're not just left open-ended, right?
awesome. Thank you so
All right.
much.
So that's the order of this court. All right, we'll see ya. Goodbye. You've been really good today. All right, there's nothing further than the court's in recess. Thank you.